11 Things Everyone Worries About on Dates. It's easy to think that women have it much tougher out there in the dating world. After all, women face lots of outside pressure about the supposed right and wrong ages to still be single and have to listen to family members complain about the fact that they're not married yet. But really, everyone has a tough time trying to find someone that they click with, and it definitely has nothing to do with what gender you are. Going on dates is, to put it mildly, not super fun. Sure, it's supposed to be magical and amazing and exciting because with every first date you go on, you could meet the person of your dreams, but that seems super rare. Instead, you go on date after date where you make awkward small talk and can't seem to find any common interests. But both men and women think similar things during the course of a first date. Here are 11 things that everyone worries about on dates. 11 Sounding stupid. This is probably the number one worry that every single person has. You want the other person to think that you're super smart and amazing, and so you think hard before saying anything at all. This, of course, leads to some silent moments and that feels even more awkward. After a while, you realize that you should probably have just said the thing you were going to in the first place instead of wasting so much time worrying. If someone doesn't like you for who you are, it's time to move on to the next date, right? 10 Having nothing to talk about. Even worse than sounding stupid or silly, that would be having absolutely nothing to talk about with your date. Both genders definitely freak out about this beforehand because it's just human nature to worry about awkward silences. After all, since everyone is online dating now, you're probably heading to a restaurant to meet a total stranger, so of course it's nerve-wracking and difficult to find stuff to chat about. It's not like you are having drinks with your best friend and can just gossip about your co-workers, not that you ever do that, of course. 9 Whether to order food. Ugh. This is the most confusing part. Sure, you both agreed on a restaurant or bar, but what if the other person thought it was just for a quick drink? What if they didn't want to order dinner at all? But you're starving and you came directly from work and haven't eaten anything since a salad at lunch. You're eyeing the bacon cheeseburger and wondering if that's acceptable to order or if your date's actually a vegetarian who is going to be super offended. You'll end up awkwardly asking your date if they want to eat something and eventually it'll get worked out. 8 How much to drink. This is a pretty tricky thing and it totally depends on whether it's a weeknight or a weekend. If it's a Tuesday, you don't want to drink more than 1 glass of wine. But what if your date thinks that means you're ready for the check and you want to go home? Then again, if you order more drinks than you wanted to and end up hungover the next day and have to go to the office, that's not great, either. But what if you decide on a second glass of red wine and your date didn't want another drink after all? It's a slippery slope. 7 How much to share. There are so many so-called rules about what you are and aren't supposed to chat about on a first date. For the most part they make total sense. You definitely don't want to get into it about your ex-boyfriend and you don't want to hear your date complain about his ex-girlfriend, either. But sometimes people act like you shouldn't share much about yourself or your past at all and that just seems like a recipe for a disaster. Aren't you on the date to show your date who you are and for them to get a sense of your personality? So shouldn't you be sharing some stuff, at least? 6 What to joke about. For the most part, people love to laugh and make jokes, but not everyone has the exact same sense of humor or finds the same things absolutely hilarious. That can definitely make for some more than awkward moments on a first date if either person makes a joke that is not well received. Oops. There's not much you can do about this kind of thing since you definitely want to try to at least laugh and have a good time during the course of the evening. But your date might be a total stick in the mud and never even crack a smile once. 5 What to brag about. At a certain point during any first date, you have to brag about yourself and your accomplishments. You will be totally polite and humble about it, of course, but essentially you really are bragging when you tell someone about your university degree, your master's if you have one, your amazing job, your promotion that you just got last month. The right person, of either gender, will be thrilled for you and find you absolutely fascinating and inspiring. The wrong person will think you are being conceited. It's all about seeing what the other person's reaction to your success is. 4. How friendly to act. Of course you want to be polite towards your date, no matter how you feel about them as soon as you lay eyes on them, because you never know if your feelings might change throughout the evening. You could think they're super attractive and then by the time the night ends, never want to see them ever again. Or their looks could grow on you because their personality is so amazing and sparkling. It just depends. You want to strike a perfect balance between being friendly enough and not overly friendly because that's just weird since you're basically strangers at this point. 3. How free you seem. It's the golden rule of dating. Don't act like you are totally free every night of the week or your date will think you are a total loser with no social life at all. But you want to seem available at least sometimes if you're into your date or else there will be no second date, let alone a budding relationship. So what do? This is definitely a tricky situation and something that both men and women worry about on every single first date that they go on. It's probably best to act like, sure, you have a few social things going on right now but you do want to see them again. 2. How honest to be. Do you tell your date that, nope, you're just not all that into them and you don't see a romantic future for the two of you? Do you tell them one of their comments really offended you? Do you say you want to be friends, although, of course, you really don't? What about when you do want to see them again and you really do think this could be the one? Both men and women totally worry about how honest to be on a date when the night is nearing its end and it's almost time to go home. There's really no easy answers for this one. 1. How to say goodbye. It's 2016. You would think that by now, someone would have figured out the hands-down best way to end a date. But nope. Instead, everyone has to freak out about the right etiquette and try to read the other person's mind. If you had a good time and you actually say it, what if they hated you and can't wait to get home? If you say nothing about the date and just say goodnight and head to the subway or to your car, what if they think you didn't like them and you never hear from them again? Even worse, what if you go in for a hug or a kiss and they totally back away? It's just the worst. Unfortunately, there seems to be no solution, so this is just one more thing that everyone will have to worry about on a first date. Oh well. Looking for an ad-free experience on the Taco. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos.